Did Elvis Presley die on the toilet, or did he not die after all? Here are 5 creepy theories that suggest Elvis is still alive. Theory 1. Wax figure. The wax figure at Elvis's funeral was so lifelike that even his friends and family noticed it. Is this proof that Elvis is still alive? Theory 2. Misspelled tombstone. Elvis's tombstone says Elvis Aaron Presley with 2 A's, but he always wrote his middle name with just 1 A. Does this suggest that Elvis is alive and well, or is it just a mistake? Theory 3. Plane ticket. Shortly after Elvis died, someone purchased a plane ticket who looked exactly like Elvis and used the name John Burrow, which was Elvis's nickname. Theory 4. Meeting with Nixon. A few years before his death, Elvis had a secret meeting with President Nixon and the FBI. Some say that Elvis was an undercover FBI agent who is still alive today. Theory 5. Black helicopter. A suspicious black helicopter landed on the roof of Elvis's Graceland home hours before his death. Some believe it was a government helicopter used by the president to pick up Elvis. Elvis Presley's grandson, Chewy Thompson, has passed away from rabies. The person who was bullied on TikTok for spitting water has now tragically died. His last TikTok post was 10 days ago, and fans noticed he seemed less energetic than usual, sparking concern in the comments. Sadly, the rabies he contracted from a dog bite in 2024 finally caught up with him. Most people thought Chewy was exaggerating or making it all up for clicks, but it turns out it was all true. Years ago, we lost his grandfather, Elvis Presley. Now Chewy has joined him. Doctors gave him 3 months to live, but he turned it into 7, leaving behind a memorable TikTok career that raised awareness, made people laugh, and inspired others through his vulnerability. In his final 3 months, Chewy collaborated with several major creators, using every moment to connect, entertain, and make his story heard. His reported last words were, "My special water cup fights death. Do you like Chewy?" Elvis Presley's granddaughter has revealed the mystery surrounding his death. Recently, she has captured everyone's attention due to her striking resemblance to Elvis and her hairstyle reminiscent of Priscilla Presley. People are eagerly awaiting Priscilla's response, but she seems to be deliberately avoiding the topic. The granddaughter's name is Angelina Jordan, a talented singer from Norway. It is said that Angelina's grandmother had a secret romance with Elvis while working as a maid at Graceland, and Angelina Jordan is possibly their descendant. This might be the reason why Priscilla is reluctant to address the issue. Speculations surrounding Angelina go even further. From a young age, she has shown a remarkable resemblance to Elvis, not only in facial features but also in singing style. She has repeatedly expressed her deep admiration for Elvis and has performed many of his classic songs in concerts. Her Elvis-style performances have deeply moved audiences around the world. What's more, Angelina was invited to visit the 2nd floor of Graceland, a place famously reserved only for Elvis's closest relatives. Reportedly, she stayed inside for quite some time, and upon leaving, she nervously looked around before departing, further deepening the mystery of her connection to Elvis.
The king of rock and roll, the true king, Elvis Aaron Presley.
Trump constantly reminds the public not to forget Elvis. Recently, he specially invited an Elvis impersonator to perform at the White House and greeted him warmly. This inevitably reminded people of previous rumors. Could Trump really be pushing for legislation in Elvis's name? As Elvis's cousin, Trump has shown a deep emotional connection to Elvis since childhood. Ever since the news of Elvis's death broke, Trump has tirelessly reminded the public to keep Elvis in their memory. When people joked about his resemblance to Elvis, he immediately took to social media, claiming he looked just like Elvis, hinting at a deeper connection between them. Beyond that, Trump frequently interacts with Elvis impersonators, even inviting them to perform at his home. Later on, Trump went so far as to posthumously award Elvis an honor, which made people start to question what was going on. After comparing Trump's relationship with Elvis, some were surprised to find how often Trump brought up Elvis in public, to the point where there were even rumors about a law being proposed, one that would somehow bring famous deceased figures back to life. Though such an idea seems impossible, when it comes to Trump, it almost feels strangely plausible. Elvis Presley died on August 16, 1977, but there are many mysteries and controversies surrounding his cause of death and his passing. 1. Elvis's alleged faked death. Some believe that Elvis may have faked his own death, possibly writing his own death record to escape public pressure and media attention, leading to doubts about the authenticity of the death record. 2. Elvis as a secret agent. Some speculate that Elvis may have intentionally become a secret agent, possibly having connections with government agencies, which could be linked to his death. 3. Priscilla Presley's behavior. Elvis's ex-wife, Priscilla Presley, did not collect his life insurance money, sparking speculation among some that she may have had prior knowledge or been involved in a plan to fake Elvis's death. 4. Suspicious aspects of the funeral. Reports suggest that at Elvis's funeral, the person in the coffin appeared like a wax figure, and there is evidence of the wax figure melting, raising concerns about deception during the public display of his death. Overall, Elvis Presley's death continues to be seen as an event shrouded in mystery and controversy. The sad fact about Elvis Presley will never come true after his death, and will remain a permanent regret in the hearts of his fans. Elvis Presley never wrote a song. Elvis once told an interviewer, "I get credit for half of the songwriting just for recording a song, which makes people think I'm more talented than I actually am." In fact, most of Elvis Presley's hit songs were taken from other artists and performed in his own unique style. But this also made Elvis Presley more outstanding than most artists because he could perform any song better than the original version. Although he never wrote any songs, his team still managed to list him as a co-writer. This eventually earned Elvis millions of dollars just from being a co-writer. In fact, Elvis couldn't read music. He only used the guitar to show off. Ultimately, the king was an entertainer, and that's what he did best. It is said that a few days before Elvis died, he wrote a few songs in the bathroom. Those songs were very sad. Unfortunately, the world will never be able to hear them. This is indeed a very regrettable thing in the music industry. Elvis will be returning to the stage this year. The king we know and love is back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will return.
Elvis will return to the stage in London as a life-sized AI hologram, looking exactly as he did in his prime. This will be the most realistic AI representation of Elvis to date. Following its premiere in London, the Elvis Experience is slated to run in Las Vegas, Berlin, and Tokyo. It is said that many unreleased Elvis songs, which fans have been eager to hear, will be featured. Perhaps we will hear the truth about his life in these songs, and the audience will embark on a journey to understand the experiences of Elvis throughout his life, right up until the moment he passed away on the toilet. Everyone around the world will finally have the chance to see Elvis's face and hear his familiar voice. We will witness songs like Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, and Blue Suede Shoes come back to life. Some even say we might see the king himself resurrected after all. Elvis himself once said,
The king never dies.
I, Bob Joyce, but I don't want to hear no more about it from anybody. Amen?
Elvis's tour manager reveals a shocking secret that Bob Joyce was actually Elvis Presley. Joe Esposito, Elvis's trusted confidant and tour manager, revealed details suggesting that Elvis changed his appearance through plastic surgery to escape the relentless public attention. After more than 50 years of observing the image of Elvis in the media and a recent video analysis of Bob Joyce, compelling parallels emerge. The analysis shows the changes in the body as we age, from thinning of the vocal cord muscles leading to changes in the voice, to loss of collagen leading to thinning of the lips, shrinkage of the facial bones, and more. Some people complain that Joyce's nose was not long and straight, but was shorter and protruded from under his eyes. However, if you've worn glasses for decades, you should know that the nose can be deformed by the pressure of the glasses, and the height of the nose can also be reduced by plastic surgery to narrow the eyes, a distinctive Elvis characteristic. Furthermore, Joyce's habits and behaviors were similar to those of the previous generation, adding weight to the theory. His refusal to respond directly to outside speculation has fueled suspicion.
No one truly realizes how deep the connection was between Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II. In April 2014, just a few months after Pope Francis was elected, Queen Elizabeth II made a historic visit to the Vatican. It was the first meeting between these two monumental figures in history. However, the Queen and her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, were 20 minutes late due to an enjoyable lunch with the President of Italy. When the Queen humorously explained the delay, Pope Francis laughed heartily and didn't mind the innocent mistake. After a profound exchange between them, the Pope prepared a meaningful gift for the Queen, a present for her newly born great-grandson, Prince George. This was undoubtedly a heartfelt blessing to the British royal family. The Queen apologized for her tardiness and formed a deep friendship with Pope Francis. This bond endured over the years. 11 years later, during King Charles's visit to Italy, upon hearing of Pope Francis's illness, he made a special visit to the Pope. Sadly, Pope Francis passed away after meeting with J.D. Vance on what would have been Queen Elizabeth II's 99th birthday, April 21st, making it a symbolically powerful date. Whether it was coincidence or a miracle, people will forever remember the legacy of these two great leaders. Do you know how the Catholic Church selects a new pope? The election of a new pope begins with what is known as the conclave, a sacred tradition with hundreds of years of history. Recently, this process was depicted in the film Conclave. The process takes place 15 to 20 days after the pope's death, and only cardinals under the age of 80 are eligible to vote. This time, there were about 138 electors from around the world. They gather in the Sistine Chapel, completely isolated from the outside world, with no access to phones or any external communication until a new pope is chosen. Each cardinal writes the name of their chosen candidate on a paper ballot. To become pope, a candidate must receive a 2/3 majority of the votes. Voting can take place up to 4 times per day until a decision is reached. Once a candidate is selected, they are called to the front of the chapel and asked if they accept the role. If the answer is yes, the new pope is then asked to choose his papal name. After each vote, the ballots are burned. Black smoke over the Vatican indicates no decision has been made, while white smoke signals that a new pope has been elected. It is a moment filled with tradition, reflection, and transition, and it holds great significance for over 1.3 billion Catholics around the world.
Is Chewie Thompson really related to Elvis Presley? Yes, Chewie Thompson is indeed related to Elvis Presley. When Elvis was in a relationship with his girlfriend Linda Thompson, they had a child together, and that child became one of Chewie Thompson's parents. Although Chewie Thompson never received any of Elvis's money, he did inherit Elvis's powerful genes and appearance. It is rumored that he is set to become the new owner of Graceland. In order to avoid the image of an overweight Elvis, Chewie has lost over 50 pounds, showing his determination to break the cycle. His dream is to become a singer, but unfortunately, he was bitten by a dog in late 2024, which led to a rare case of rabies. He now has trouble drinking liquids, adding an unexpected twist to his journey. His grandfather Elvis died in the bathroom in 1977. Lisa Marie Presley passed away, and Elvis's other grandson, Benjamin Keough, also died. Now, with Chewie suffering from rabies, it seems the Presley family may be cursed without hope. But perhaps Chewie is the one who can break that curse, if only he can get the attention of John Cena. The last master of Graceland, Chewie Thompson, the man who was supposed to inherit Elvis's throne, ultimately met his end in a bizarre vortex of death. When Elvis was with his girlfriend, Linda Thompson, they had a child, who then became Chewie Thompson's parent. Although Chewie Thompson never received any of Elvis's money, he did inherit Elvis's powerful genes and appearance. It is said that when he returned to visit Graceland, even the tour guide was so astonished by his resemblance to Elvis that they misspoke. When Chewie Thompson had lost over 50 pounds, he had a birthmark below his collarbone that matched the scar Elvis had from a car accident, further suggesting he was the heir to Elvis's fate. In late 2024, Chewie was bitten by a dog, leading to a peculiar case of rabies. Chewie's blood tests showed that the rabies virus was 97% similar to the vaccine sample Elvis received when he joined the army in 1958. Like Elvis, Chewie was very sensitive to light and always preferred walking in the dark. His grandfather, Elvis, died in the bathroom in 1977. Now, with Lisa Marie Presley and Elvis's other grandson, Benjamin Keough, both deceased, and his grandson Chewie dying from rabies, it seems the Presley family is cursed. Why did Priscilla remain silent when an Elvis replica appeared in the world? The appearance of Elvis's granddaughter shocked everyone, as she has Elvis's looks and Priscilla's hairstyle. When people expected Priscilla's response, she deliberately avoided the topic. This granddaughter's name is Angelina Jordan, a talented singer from Norway. When she starts singing, even the ghosts of Graceland hold their breath. It is said that Angelina's grandmother, Mary Zamani, had a secret love affair with Elvis while working as a maid at Graceland. Someone found an old work photo, Mary standing in the backyard of Graceland, talking to Angelina about her past with Elvis. Angelina has shown a striking resemblance to Elvis since she was a child. She started performing Elvis's songs on stage at the age of 5. Even her vibrato resembles Elvis's. She has expressed her deep admiration for Elvis many times and has performed Elvis's iconic songs at numerous concerts. Her Elvis-style singing has deeply moved audiences around the world. Angelina was even allowed to enter the second floor when she visited Graceland, a privilege reserved only for those closest to Elvis. Is it bloodline or imitation? What is the true relationship between this talented singer from Norway and Elvis? No wonder Elvis's granddaughter shocked everyone because she has Elvis's blue eyes and Priscilla's hair. She really looks like her grandfather. When people were waiting for Priscilla's response, she simply refused to answer the question. The granddaughter's name is Angelina Jordan, and she is now a talented singer in Norway. It is said that Angelina's grandmother, Mary Zamani, worked as a maid in Graceland when she was young. She had a secret love affair with Elvis, and Angelina's father or mother is very likely the illegitimate child of Mary Zamani and Elvis. This may be the reason why Priscilla refused to answer. Angelina inherited Elvis's excellent genes since she was a child. Whether it is her appearance or her singing style, she looks very much like the former king of rock and roll. Angelina has expressed her admiration for Elvis many times and often sings Elvis's iconic songs at concerts. Her Elvis-style singing deeply shocked audiences around the world. When Angelina visited Graceland, she was even allowed to enter the second floor. Do you think Angelina can become the next Elvis? In 2025, Elvis Presley's DEA badge and ID were discovered, and he is still alive. The purported death of Elvis Presley in August 1977, at the age of 42, remains enveloped in an enduring shroud of mystery and controversy, challenging the conventional narrative surrounding the king of rock and roll. Recent disclosures from declassified FBI files have unveiled startling revelations about Elvis's covert involvement with the government, presenting a paradigm shift in understanding his supposed demise. In 1970, a remarkable twist in Elvis's relationship with President Richard Nixon emerged as he was bestowed the title of a special agent. 2 hours preceding the reported time of his passing, eyewitnesses observed a black helicopter suspected to have government affiliations whisking away Elvis, lending credence to the theory of his orchestrated disappearance. In the wake of these revelations, Joel, a famous reporter, and his team embarked on a quest for truth, delving into archives and following clues that led them to a secluded residence bearing the name Burroughs. Their discovery of a white Cadillac adorned with familiar bumper stickers and a trove of Elvis memorabilia further corroborated their suspicions. Elvis Presley, alive and well, had been living incognito, harboring the secrets of his double life as a federal agent. Shockingly, a tourist captured a photo of the late Elvis sitting by a window. Speculation surrounding Elvis Presley's disappearance has persisted for decades. Countless people fervently believe that the king may still be alive. Over the years, they have claimed to have sighted Elvis or spotted him in photographs and even in films. Then, in January 1978, Mike Joseph captured a photograph of a man eerily resembling Elvis behind Grayson's meditation gardens. Mere months after his reported demise, this remains an enigmatic mystery. The picture shows him seated in a chair, observing as fans laid flowers in his memory. Joseph's affirmation, supported by an audio recording, attests to the figure's likeness to Elvis, adding layers to the mystery. Moreover, Elvis himself ominously hinted at his mortality during his final concert tour, his words echoing with an eerie presence. "I may not look good tonight, but I'll look good in my coffin," Presley said on his last concert tour. At another time, he said, "If I should return, you would not recognize me," highlighting the enigmatic aura surrounding his supposed demise.
I am Elvis. Why won't you believe me?
Despite the prevailing belief that Elvis Presley is no longer with us, these compelling pieces of evidence cannot be easily dismissed. At the age of 42, the world lost the king himself, but many people believe he faked his own death for protection against the mafia. Until now, there hasn't been any conclusive proof. Recently, a psychiatric patient claimed to be Elvis. Of course, no one believed him. Eventually, the therapist attending to him told him to take a DNA test to prove if he really was Elvis. However, when the test results came back, not only did Jesse's DNA match Elvis's DNA, but also both sides of his parents' DNA. What's even more intriguing is that Elvis actually had an identical twin, reportedly said to have passed away at birth. Interestingly enough, his name was Jesse Garon Presley, the same name as the patient. Is it possible that upon Jesse's death, the bodies were swapped and the real Elvis assumed the role of Jesse? What do you think about this startling revelation? Evidence shows that Reverend Bob could be Elvis. Posters from 60 years ago show Elvis signing under the pseudonym Bob Joyce. Evidence 1. Discovery of signed poster. A poster signed by Elvis many years ago surfaced with the name Bob Joyce on it. It is well known that Elvis liked the name Bob and even mentioned to relatives that he would use this name as an alias when traveling. Evidence 2. Similarity of bent pinky finger. Elvis and Bob Joyce both have a bent pinky finger. This unique physical feature has aroused curiosity and speculation, as it seems unlikely that Bob Joyce deliberately broke his finger to imitate Elvis. Evidence 3. Matching body proportions. Anatomists compared the body proportions of Elvis during his lifetime with those of Bob Joyce today. They found that the body proportions and bone structure are exactly the same. Many fans of Elvis visited Bob's House of Faith Church in Benton, Arkansas, and confirmed the striking similarity between the two. Evidence 4. Similarity of teeth. In addition, the teeth of Elvis and Bob Joyce also show significant similarities. These striking similarities have brought Bob Joyce, who had been quiet for a long time, back into people's sight again. It turns out that Angelina Jordan had already been recognized by Priscilla, but she chose to stay away from this granddaughter. The truth behind it is heartbreaking. The granddaughter has Elvis's blue eyes and Priscilla's hairstyle, and now she is a talented female singer in Norway. Her Elvis-style singing deeply shocked audiences all over the world. She really looks like her grandfather, Elvis Presley. People are looking forward to Priscilla's response to this granddaughter. Shockingly, she chose to refuse to face Angelina. It is said that Angelina's grandmother, Mary Zamani, worked as a maid at Graceland. She had an unknown love affair with Elvis, and Angelina's father or mother is very likely Elvis's illegitimate child. People think this is why Priscilla rejected Angelina. After all, no one can accept such a situation. In fact, she just didn't want Angelina to suffer the family curse. After witnessing the death of her daughter and grandson, she didn't want to endure the pain anymore. Especially when she saw Angelina Jordan, Priscilla saw the shadow of Elvis in her. She didn't want Angelina to be the next Elvis, so she chose to protect Angelina in this way. Do you think Angelina Jordan can escape the family curse? Elvis Presley's terrifying final performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end is near. I'm sorry for everything. I love you.
On June 26, 1977, Elvis performed his last concert with a crowd of over 20,000 fans. He sang his most famous songs. Elvis appeared very overweight and seemed quite winded and unhealthy. Either way, he gave an absolutely amazing show to the fans. The weirdest moment of this performance that confused the crowd was that Elvis took a lot of the show to thank his friends and loved ones from his past, including old friends that he hadn't mentioned in years. Before his closing performance, it was almost as if Elvis was trying to tell the world something and was saying goodbye, and it almost felt that he had regretted something. A few days later, Elvis and his girlfriend Linda Thompson watched a movie at Graceland, and he passed away in the bathroom. No one knows if Elvis's death was accidental or intentional. However, Elvis's final words at his last concert were eerily,
Sorry, everyone. God bless you all. Good night. I just hope you're meeting.
Elvis has left the building.
Priscilla Presley might be buried at Graceland after her death, near Elvis Presley. There is one burial plot remaining in the area closest to Elvis and his parents, which was originally reserved for Lisa Marie Presley. If Lisa Marie had passed away before her son Benjamin Keogh, she likely would have been buried in that spot. However, following Benjamin's unexpected death, Lisa Marie insisted on having him buried at Graceland. Due to limited space and the complexity of underground utilities like water pipes and wiring near the meditation garden, Benjamin could not be buried underground. Instead, he was placed above ground. Lisa Marie's original burial spot next to Elvis remained vacant as she chose to rest near Benjamin after her passing. If Priscilla eventually fulfills her wish to be buried at Graceland, the only available plot would be Lisa Marie's original reserved spot, the one closest to Elvis. Do you hope Priscilla Presley will be buried there? That is the place where Elvis Presley breathed his last. The bathroom where Elvis Presley spent his final moments holds a morbid fascination for fans and visitors. Elvis had a unique habit of reading in the bathroom, and surprisingly, his last words before entering the bathroom were, "I'm going to the bathroom to read." Although Graceland, Elvis's home, is now open to the public as a tourist attraction, Elvis's private suite and bathroom are only accessible to a very select few. Among them, only Priscilla and Lisa Marie Presley are allowed entry. However, reports have surfaced of Nicolas Cage experiencing nausea and dizziness after visiting Graceland, which undoubtedly adds to the unsettling atmosphere of Elvis's bathroom. In fact, Elvis's death was attributed to chronic constipation, compounded by prescription drug abuse, painting a grim picture of his final moments. The mystery surrounding Elvis's death, combined with the fact that his autopsy report will not be released until 2027, adds to the intrigue. What are your thoughts on the cause of Elvis's death?
I'm Elvis, but I don't want to hear no more about it from anybody.
That old pastor has finally admitted that he is Elvis Presley. A long time ago, many believed that Bob Joyce was actually Elvis Presley. It is said that Elvis faked his death in 1977 to escape the Memphis Mafia, but no one could provide solid proof, until Bob Joyce suddenly appeared. This pastor lives in a small town in Arkansas and shares too many similarities with Elvis, such as wearing the same boots and even owning a guitar just like Elvis's. This has convinced many that he is the king of rock and roll. Some people even saw Bob Joyce appear at Graceland during Christmas, and he attended Elvis's daughter's funeral. People speculate that he lives a simple and ordinary life in his later years. After all, no one can imitate Elvis's musical style quite like Bob Joyce. Bob Joyce is a devout religious man, and it is well known that Elvis became very religious in the final years of his life. At his last concert, all of the songs were gospel songs. Do you think this old pastor is Elvis?